What is the crack, everyone? B2B Sports, we are back. Sam is here as always. Got a end of the season special, of course, with the corridor of uncertainty lads. Luke and Ben are here. How are we?
Oh, great, thank you.
Uh, I'm all right. I've got a bad foot.
I have a feeling that Ben is going to try and use every single excuse in the book
Yeah.
to try and get
It's
out.
not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Sent Luke a picture of my foot earlier.
Great.
It's his favourite thing.
That's a bit weird, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
What's going on there, lads?
Ben's OnlyFans is getting off to a slow start.
Luke's got needs.
Well, we're in this episode, we're going to be covering some look back, some poor takes from the start of the season, and of course, the outcome of our fancy Premier League mini league and also our joint league as well. That we had about 200 people in there. Of course, make sure you check out the Corridor lads content. They produce cracking football content week in, week out, and I'm sure they've got some exciting stuff lined up for the summer. So do check them out. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. The first episode that we recorded of the season, we made some outrageous remarks, mainly about where we would rank top 6 clubs from first to sixth in different positions. I've got some outrageous stuff that we said at the start of the season.
Yeah, it's not good. I listened to it earlier. It's really not good.
It's not good. I listened to it back earlier as well. Luke, straight off the bat. I mean, Tottenham. He ranked Tottenham as the best attack in the league and the best midfield in the league, and then Sterling to be Chelsea's top goal scorer. And then I swear later on in the podcast he said top goal scorer overall in the Premier League. So that's a bit bad.
I did do that.
So close.
We had quite a few shouts from all of us really about Liverpool's defense being number 1 or number 2.
Where did I put it?
So to be fair, Sam's remark in this, you said that I don't rate Liverpool as highly as what other people do. They're only one man defense, and that's Virgil van Dijk. And then Luke and Ben come into it and sort of saying, what about left back and right back? And yeah, defensively, Sam did have a point.
Going back to listen to that, me and Ben look like absolute idiots, and Sam is like way ahead.
I don't look like an idiot. I still stand by it. We've got a better defense than at least 3 of the top 6.
Not quite sure about that.
Or at least 2 of them.
And also, I did feel a bit sorry for Sam in this podcast because we all, again, ranked United bottom in most categories. And Sam was trying to stick up for himself. And to be fair, United didn't do that badly at all this season in comparison to
what sticking up for United for once worked. It could have been very poorly.
Exactly. I think that you ranked United highest in their attack. Maybe because of Ronaldo, and then he left not long.
Yeah, Martial, Weghorst, knew he was coming.
I had a couple of stinkers as well. I ranked Mendy second best keeper out of the top 6. I mean,
he didn't end up finishing even playing.
I mean, how many games did he play this season? And again, I ranked Chelsea defense quite high. I think it was still quite high. Thomas Tuchel bandwagon.
We scored 4 against you. Jesus Christ.
Oh no. And yeah, I think Ben predicted Salah to be top goal scorer in that podcast as well. I mean, he didn't. How many goals did he score in the end? It wasn't that.
He scored over 20 again. It's all I'll take.
It was a very slow start, but he scored pretty much every game towards the end as well.
Do you know what? I've had so many people at the start of the season tell me that Salah was going to drop off. He got 19 Premier League goals.
Yeah.
I'll just stop bullying Salah because he's the best winger in the league. Just leave it.
Sam,
all this Rashford nonsense.
How many goals did Rashford score in the end then?
Less than Salah.
I think it's like 15 or so.
17 Premier League.
There's even better.
I think Martinelli scored that. Martinelli scored around 15, 16 as well, didn't he? I think that was quite
Martinelli finished on 15.
15. There you go. And going back to Sam, Sam was the only one out of all of us to predict Haaland to be top goal scorer. I mean, looking back at that, I mean, why didn't we not jump on the bandwagon? I do not know.
Everyone's just trying to be different these days, you know.
I feel like that lack of Haaland cost me potentially the kit to pick for Ben. I went back. I don't think I picked him till October.
Yeah, you went for a very long stint of not picking him.
Yeah.
Every week we're like, Luke, are you gonna put him in?
Put him in, yeah.
Like, no, I think I'm all
No,
right.
I only had him in a couple of weeks before Luke did because I was thinking, oh great, because I was actually top of the leaderboard for like half the season, and then it just went very wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the perfect segue, really. Let's
let's leave that.
Let's jump into a bit of FPL, shall we?
Boys?
No.
So we had 2 leagues, didn't we? So we had one mini league with just us 4 in, and then we had a joint league where we got as many people as we can across our socials in. How many people did we have in the end?
A lot.
About 204, I think it was.
Yeah.
204.
206.
Going off last year, we made the forfeit last year was the winner of our FPL mini league. Had to choose a kit for the loser to buy. We all have very different football club tastes here. Sam's United fan, obviously. I'm Chelsea fan. Ben, Liverpool. And Luke, QPR. But, you know, part Man City, part QPR just for these challenges, really. And yeah, I ended up winning the FPL league. And Ben came last. Sorry, Ben.
I actually came 59th if you go for the 206, which is still quite good, like top quarter.
To be fair, the fact that all of us were in the top 60 is
I'll take that.
I'll take it.
Thanks, Sam, making it top 60.
No worries.
You didn't even have to go top 59.
I was looking back, and all my FPL seasons, this was like my worst rank, like you know, the overall rank, but it was the best in terms of points. I guess that's just because everyone had Haaland, so everyone got loads of points. But yeah, my rank was the worst it's ever been.
I think
Where did everyone finish?
Points total from last year by like 200 and something points.
Yeah, you smashed it on this year. Where did everyone
59th
in our league? What was the position?
In our league, I came 29th.
Ollie, you were 19th. Sam was 25th. Luke was 29th, and I was 59th. So we're all quite close.
All quite close. All in a nice little group there.
What was the outcome of our cup competition? I don't know.
I think I won. No, I didn't.
The big one or just our 4?
Both. What was the outcome of both?
I did tweet it, but I can't remember who it was.
I don't know how you find out who wins.
My app didn't work. I have to do it on Chrome for some reason.
Sam, I think you won our mini league.
I won the mini one.
Sam beat me.
It was between me and Ollie, and I got 39. He got 31. It was a poor last week.
Shocking.
Boo Beth won the cup.
Shout out to Beth or Boo Beth.
Who won the league? Do you know who won the league?
Adam Cassidy.
Some serious,
well done, mate.
I can't find any of these people on Twitter, so they either follow us or they've just found the league somehow and joined. But I don't follow any of them, so I just couldn't find them anywhere. I wanted to at them, but I just couldn't find any.
On them.
I'd like to say that I actually came 58th.
You like to say that
because Craig had 2 teams.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
That was the whole point. You weren't allowed 2 teams.
You can have 58.
Fair
it
enough.
Doesn't make much of a difference.
I'll take 58. Back in the race.
I won 2 cup competitions this year.
Do you know what? Never mind. I beat both Craig's teams. Back to 59th. Oh.
And this takes us on to the forfeit. There was. I mean, there were many ideas floating around. Really, you could have a variety of choices. And I was thinking about what's the best way to do this. So you could have a United kit, you could have a Chelsea kit.
Terry kit.
You could have a John Terry kit. You could have an Everton kit. But I was thinking about how do I make this ruthless but not too savage? And I was like, after last year, Sam got away with it. He got a Southampton kit that he actually quite likes now. So I thought this better be savage. It's got to be savage. So I went back and had a listen to the podcast.
Oh no!
Went back and had a listen to the podcast, and let's see what Ben says about a certain kit.
I know what's coming. I'll start looking.
And the worst kit by miles is Everton's away kit. It's horrendous. It's absolutely disgusting.
That is
Oh,
And there you have it from the man himself, Ben.
that's not me.
He's chosen Everton's away kit, the pink and blue, horrendous mess. Let's see if we can get a photo.
He's getting on eBay right this second.
20 quid on eBay. Oh,
I don't know if it's that. Really can't see that.
Oh, that is beauty.
in other
I actually
news,
don't mind it.
I actually quite like that. It's not actually too bad.
To be fair, Ben, you've actually had an absolute result here because it is reduced from £60 down to 15.
Get two.
well,
Jesus.
no.
£15 on kit bag.
You can get
In
four
other
for the
news-
price of one.
I'm willing to give away an Everton kit if anybody wants one.
Yeah, there will probably be a corridor uncertainty giveaway
Worn once.
once we've got the photographic evidence of Ben in there,
Oh,
which
Yeah.
I'll be posting on a regular basis just to
no,
remind.
no,
that
can only
has
go at
happened.
once. That was never the rule.
We're
There's
also
never been a rule.
we're also
Well,
going to
I'm
make
setting
sure
a
that
rule,
the Corridor of
Sam.
Uncertainty podcast logo for next season is Ben in that Everton kit.
I won't take a photo if that's true.
I mean, it's got to be done, isn't it? It's got to be done.
Right, well, apparently there's a men's medium kit on eBay at the moment for £18. And it's got number 33, Rondan, on the back.
Nice.
Who's Rondan?
Someone had a nightmare on the printing.
Some kid called Dan.
They
really
mean
likes
to put
Rondon.
Rondon?
Yeah, but yeah, we expect a picture on socials in the coming weeks to
Loads of
prove it.
social, constantly tweeted 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And I suspect it'd be getting put in the bin after that as well.
No, I'm going to give it away. It's either that or it goes to the charity shop. Or I'll find a homeless person or something.
Yeah. I can't imagine that, really.
I think in that
Probably
podcast as well, you said that Spurs away kit, you didn't like that.
I mean, I dislike it more than the Everton pink kit. Shall I get the Spurs one instead?
Absolutely.
Okay, Ollie.
Not
Absolutely.
going away that easily.
And I think the
I'll buy that.
That's one you didn't like.
Bloody hell. I'm not.
God's sake. I've known that's coming for about 3 months as well.
I mean, yeah, it had to be. It had to be. After I was thinking about it, then after looking at that podcast earlier or listening back, should I say that it was a no-brainer, really.
To be fair,
I'll be back next season. I'm going to get all of you.
I
Luke
do
did
remember,
nice
Ben.
bits on me too, to be fair.
Yeah, I do remember you piping up midway through the season about
I'll
it.
behave.
So
Yeah, I remember it as well.
you did go way too early with that.
Just a tad.
Do you know what? I'm not even fussed about Ollie and Sam. I just want to get you.
Doesn't happen.
I just want to get you because you're going to end up with a Liverpool shirt or a Chelsea shirt someday.
Nah.
I just want to say I would have been much nicer than Ollie.
I know you would, Sam.
What would you have done?
Bollocks.
Out there. I don't know. Luckily, I didn't have to think about it. I just want to say for future reference that I would have been much nicer.
Yeah, I would have also been much nicer, but look what I've got to buy.
I think I would have
I
done.
mean,
exactly
I've got a Championships Club shirt that I bought for however much, and now it's going to be like £2.
Took it on tour with you to Bali on your honeymoon, didn't you?
I didn't. Did I? I might have done actually.
I swear you did.
I didn't wear it. Bit much on a honeymoon.
But yeah, that wraps up FPL. Any last comments on FPL before we move on to?
That's my comment. I'm not playing next season.
No, I think, next season it's going to be. Is it going to be even more feisty?
I think it will.
But we've got no. What are we going to do for the sweepstake one? Because this year we have the World Cup. Before that, we had the Euros. We've got no sweepstake competition. For
Women's
next
World
season.
Cup is this year.
Women's World Cup, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can do off that.
It's a shout.
Look.
That is a shout.
And all of England's players are injured. So
Yeah, I've seen that. Although I don't know why I said that because I've not really got a good reputation in the sweepstake, having lost both of them.
I'm not
what are you
doing it.
wearing at the moment, Luke? What you got on?
The old turkey.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was appropriate to wear the Qatar kit on camera, to be honest.
You wore it to 6-a-side last week.
It's got to be done. It's a nice looking kit.
Just the rest of the stuff that carries with it.
Yeah.
I am I'm already ruling myself out from doing this sweepstake if we do one this year because I got
No,
Sorry,
absolutely not.
No,
That's
not.
the
I
worst
think
thing
he
I've
was
ever heard.
hosting the draw.
I got accused of my bowl method.
Match fixing.
It was awful.
That's why you need me and my wheel.
You
But
ridiculous.
don't want to wheel. I need to see it. I want balls that twist and open. If it's not that, then I'll be disappointed.
But, you know,
I'll see how much they are on eBay.
I was going to say a box of Champions League balls.
Openable Champions League balls.
There's one last prediction we all made was the first manager to be sacked. I'm only mentioning that because I got it right, and it was Scott Parker.
Fair play.
Yeah, well, he didn't deserve to get sacked, so you don't deserve that point.
Well, he definitely did deserve to get sacked, and
No.
look what happened afterwards.
He only lost 9-0.
When was he sacked? What was the date?
August 31st, I think.
That's quite mad to be sacked less
The
than
first
a
month.
season. Like, that's harsh.
I feel like he played City, Chelsea, and Liverpool all in that time, and he still got sacked. That's very harsh.
Yeah, to be fair, what was it?
Actually, he's been sacked twice this season.
Yeah, he's had a shocker. He really has.
Yeah, he went to Ghent or Ghent or one of the two in Belgium and got sacked there. So
Is that the team that Toby Alderweireld was doing bits for this season?
Yeah.
no, that was Antwerp.
Didn't he go to Bruges?
He might have gone to Bruges actually. No, they were quite good actually. Bruges. They did all right in the Champions League. I don't think he went there.
We're gonna have to Google it now.
Fulham's first game was against Liverpool, which they drew.
Yeah, we drew the first two. Then
No,
we
it
lost to
wasn't.
some
Sorry, but
rubbish
how did
red
he get
team.
sacked in August?
It was
So-
Bruges.
He drew 2-2 against Liverpool, drew
Was it-
0-0 against Wolves. He beat Brentford 3-2.
Who?
and then
Scott
lost-
Parker.
No,
Yeah,
it was at
He
Bournemouth.
didn't draw to us. We smashed them 9-0.
6th
He was
of
at
August 2022.
He was in Bournemouth, mate, not Fulham.
How was
Apparently
it?
why?
Never mind. Oh, geez, I just typed in Bournemouth and it's come with Bournemouth murder arrest after a woman fact. No, what's going on here?
Oh God, what is this podcast turning into?
First manager to get sacked next season, Poch or Eric Ten Hag.
Oh, early predictions already.
What's the Celtic manager?
Oh, and to
Postecoglou.
Yeah.
Not
Rumours go. Is he signed for Spurs yet, or is it nearly done?
officially.
Yeah, I think he has, hasn't he?
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe anything until Fabrizio here we
I
goes
think
it.
he literally put it up.
Has he? Let me have a look through his Twitter. Also, got to recommend the daily briefing he does. Really good. Paid £2.50 a month, and he gives me all his details every day, so I know who's going where. I'm basically Fabrizio Romano now.
What's the difference between that and his updates that he posts on Twitter?
Get a lot more detail. Look, I've got three free. I've got
wanna
3
yes or
free
no.
codes
Not more
that I need to
detail
send,
than
so I'll give you all
you
one. You
saying
can give it a
who's
month's
on.
trial. I found out today, Alexis McAllister. Here we go to Liverpool.
To be fair, I also
feel like
found out, but I
everybody's
didn't pay
known
£2.
Yeah, but I knew before all of you.
You've been tweeting about it for about 3 months.
He has, and I knew exactly.
How does he get this inside scoop though? That's what I want to know. Does he just not sleep, or does he just have some contacts?
Well, I reckon he's got to have other people in his business. He's got to. He can't be doing it all on his own.
Yeah, definitely now. He's massive. I reckon Romano is just like the face of an operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like somebody like a company. I can't think of anyone now. It's like Ronald McDonald. It doesn't really exist. It's just
Great.
different people.
Great one.
He does. He does different people for different leagues who are in charge of things. Because some of the time I'll get a Bundesliga daily briefing from somebody called Christian.
Yeah, it's playing Christian. I mean,
Why are we advertising Fabrizio Romano's stuff so much?
Because it's good fun.
He's not going to give it back. I want
how
it
much
back.
are you getting paid?
Me? Oh
He's
no,
got
I'm
a
paying
commission.
him. Told you, £2.50 a month.
It's a pyramid scheme. It's like
Yeah.
Luke's got like try and recruit other people, and then he gets paid.
Yeah, I'm actually taking over the South African League soon. Here we go. Stephen Pienaar joins Kaiser Chiefs.
No, that is a great knowledge of one South African
One
player
South
and one
African
South
player.
African club.
Yeah,
Doing a business out there.
Stephen Pienaar.
Going back to Spurs, this
He's
new
not.
manager potentially signed by Fabrizio, confirmed it. Well, how do you think he's going to do? How do you think he's going to do next year? Because
Oh,
Spurs are gonna mess.
He's won like 7 trebles in the last 9 years at Celtic, so
Yeah, but
he's
can
won
you?
no trophies.
Yeah, exactly. It's Celtic, in it? So
I think they're going to struggle without Harry Kane.
Yeah, true.
Not that he's been here we go yet, but I think he'll leave. I think
But
it's
where?
a wise decision. Hey,
Where can he go? United.
United, Real Madrid have just lost Benzema, may I remind you.
That's
He
true.
can't go there. He wants the record, surely.
Yeah, he'd have to get the record first.
But that's a guaranteed trophy if he goes to Real Madrid. He
Exactly.
knocks that off straight away. But I just
Look,
think that record
Madrid
is...
have just spent 120 million on Bellingham. Like, they'd win something over there, surely.
Yeah, they
He'd
definitely win
win.
something.
Do you want a trophy or do you want a record?
I think he'll want the record because that's not going to be broken anytime soon.
Well, then he could go to United and still challenge for both.
Yeah. I think it has to be...
That was bold.
He can't go to Chelsea.
Ben,
yeah,
I'd go to United over the two.
appreciate the optimism of that.
You don't want to go to a mid-table team like Chelsea.
No, he
Yeah.
can't go there. He can't go
I
to
think of
City.
your pink Everton kit, Ollie. That's what I think.
I'm going to get absolutely pelted now. Chelsea comments left, right, and centre. But yeah,
Mason Mount looks on his way out as well.
Yeah, that's
United
it.
as well.
He
Take
didn't.
crap with the interview.
The
skills.
interview on F1, didn't he? And
Yeah.
yeah, it
Mason
doesn't
did not know what to say.
look good. Doesn't look good. I mean, I'm gutted, to be honest, mate. I'm actually gutted. I know he's not had the best seasons, but under the right manager, he's a good player. I think he's a big miss if we let him go to United. But
How much for do you reckon?
Going to be like
Crazy.
70 million.
How much left on his contract?
He's got another year.
he's got
Can't let him.
I reckon he's a 45 million. With the
I don't
season
think it'll be
he's
too
had.
much.
I think he'll be 70 million.
I
No
think
way.
it's 60.
Yeah.
He wants
I
to
think
go,
less
and I think
than
United
50.
will put a bid in that's just is around 30 to 45 million.
Yeah.
No, I think you've got to get the business done.
And then they
Otherwise,
can have Harry Maguire.
Poch could start playing him. He could turn back into prime Mason Mount, and then he won't want to leave Chelsea because he's a Chelsea fan as well, isn't he?
There you go. But it's,
I think you've got to do the
Not
business.
anymore.
Not anymore, no,
if,
maybe not.
depends if Todd Bowley just wants to go on a rampage. You know, there's talk of Caicedo, there's talk of that.
He's got less responsibilities now.
Yeah, he's stepped
You're
back.
also getting rid of that other donkey, Kai Havertz.
Yeah, he's going Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. He'll win Ballon d'Or with Real Madrid, so it's fine.
Yeah, what do you boys think about Benzema leaving Madrid and signing for who did he sign for? Al
That or something like that.
yeah,
I mean, what's a great paycheck?
Yeah.
great paycheck, yeah.
I think it's the right decision.
For him.
Yeah.
Why?
Like, because he won the Ballon d'Or last season, right? And he's not been at that level again because it was by far his best season ever. And he's not going to reach that level. So why not just leave now instead of tying yourself down to another 2 years and, you know, just not being as good as you were? Or just go to Saudi Arabia, pick up a massive contract and be one of the best players in the league. Yeah.
I think it's fair.
I mean, he can do what he wants, but it's just like anytime someone does that, you're just like, oh, just what a waste.
Yeah.
He's still got more to give, though, and he's still,
Yeah.
you know, he had a really good season this year. I know he dropped off a little bit towards the end, but you know, he's with Vinicius Junior, like he's going to guarantee goals.
Those two did play very well together, to be honest. started off a bit sketchy, but they started playing really well together. But it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see
isn't
who
he
they
the
get.
one who said, "Don't pass it to him. He's against
Yeah.
us. On my
Yeah,
mother's life, leave it."
that's mad, isn't it?
But I think it'll be difficult for them to replace. I mean, it won't be that difficult because it's Real Madrid. They'll just buy someone insane. But I mean, they've been talked about them trying to buy Haaland and setting up like 300 million or something aside. But in reality, I don't know who they're going to sign.
Well,
I have
there's not that many like elite strikers out there. Like that you can see go like Haaland's not going to go now.
They have to go all
Mbappe,
in.
I don't really know, and then I just can't see Kane. Other than that, they're all
There's
locked
one
down.
more they'd get.
Who's that?
Bobby Firmino. He's on his way. Trust me. Trust me, it's going to happen.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
heard, but I said elite strikers.
Oh, no, I heard. I heard. He's going over there. Trust me.
Like
Complete the Brazilian link-up. He's free
He is free.
just for a year until they can scrape even more money together to sign Mbappe or Haaland or Diogo Jota or someone
There's
great.
nothing stopping them signing Salah, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're losing him as well.
But
That's something like nobody talks about Salah leaving Liverpool at the moment, but
mm,
I feel like he's getting tired.
Nah, he said like 2 weeks ago that he was happy to stay at Liverpool. So
Yeah, but so does many people, and then they leave 2 weeks later.
no, he's not leaving. Stop it.
not the seed in his head, Sam.
The seed of doubt.
Just because your goat left you, don't mean
I
my
know,
one
but
will.
at least he left when he was just annoying.
Don't you
True.
think like this season has been like the weirdest, like longest, like Premier League season ever? Like looking back at Ronaldo at United and Tuchel at Chelsea, like
Yeah.
that's just mad, isn't it? Like it's just how much stuff's happened this year. It seems like the longest season.
I think because we had the World Cup in the middle of it, it just seems like we've had like 2 seasons in one, basically. Just like we had the first like mini season where like the Tuchel Conte stuff happened. Then we had a massive break where the World Cup happened, and then we had the Man City season after that.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
I know. Arsenal went from being like the best team in the league for months and months and months, and now City are just the best team in the world again. You're like, oh, there they are.
Yeah, and I think to be fair, like I think Arsenal were top for what 94% of the season.
Yeah, something stupid.
200 odd days, weren't it? Yeah.
Like how they lose it from that position? It was just crucial. I think three in a row or something draws.
Yeah,
And they were 2-0 up. Just crushed
They were
them.
2-0 up twice
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
because they did it to us and they did it to West Ham, didn't they?
yeah. To make it free, didn't they?
And then lost 4-1 to City.
I mean, that really was the nail in the coffin, wasn't it? That was like the.
I mean, even then, losing to City, they were still what 2 points ahead.
Yeah.
But mentally, you just done it. You just done it.
Then there was the Southampton, and then they lost, didn't they?
Yeah. And I think
Well, and they lost to Everton at one point. Nightmare.
Yeah, lost to
Well and truly bottled it.
lost to Notts Forest as well. I mean, right at the end to win them the title. So yeah, they just it was a big bottle, to be fair.
How can Arsenal improve for next season? How can they guarantee that's not going to happen again? Because they've not really been talked about in the transfer market as of yet.
I think
It's tough.
they just need depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they need depth.
They had the same. That's one thing.
There's
City
still
also-
players in their team that aren't great.
Yeah, but I mean, they
Still,
did good enough to be top for 94% of the season. Like if they brought in players that are better, they would still have squad depth.
Yeah.
I feel like this season has just been a weird one, like we already said. Like realistically, Liverpool, Chelsea haven't been in the season. And that's not to take anything away from like Newcastle, because they've played excellently, and United as well, but they were never really title contenders.
Yeah.
So it was only ever going to be between Arsenal and City. And I think everybody was saying from the start, oh, we've seen this loads of time where City start the season poorly, but they'll win every game on from November and they'll win the league.
Yeah.
Like, it's more that you can't drop points because this will happen. And when you've got the likes of Xhaka as your CDM or your centre mid, it's fine. But I just think the whole squad, just every player had like a purple patch, but never did the whole team have a purple patch, which is what you could say about City or
Yeah.
when Liverpool won the league a couple of seasons ago. It's always, oh, this was Saka's week. This was Reece Nelson's week, for example. Or
Yeah.
Odegaard played well this month. Never Arsenal as a whole squad are demolishing everybody.
I think that's harsh. I mean, Arsenal were quite like for the vast majority of the season as a squad, they were just unreal. Like when everyone was fit, and that's why it's about the depth. Like it's still a young team as well. Like Ramsdale will be a year older. Saliba and Gabriel will have a partnership that will be back again. Ben White another year older. So you like that midfield. I think the midfield's the main problem because they're going forward again. Saka. Martinelli will be another year older. Smith Rowe might get back if he can be able to get fit at any point.
Well, they're losing Xhaka, aren't they? So they need to sign another midfielder immediately.
Busquets.
Busquets. Is he
I'd
retired?
love to see that.
I
don't think he has retired.
No, he's just left Barca.
Might as well.
Get Jordi Alba in whilst you're at it.
Go for it.
Zinchenko's not the way,
really well.
Yeah.
That'd be actually 2 great buys for them.
They need to get at least probably 2 midfielders in because I'm not convinced on Partey, to be honest with you.
No.
It's fallen off of it. But that's just Arsenal. If Arsenal season was the opposite way round, it would have been unbelievable. We'd be looking at them for contenders next season. But just because they fell off a little bit at the end when the pressure was on. But they will have experienced that now. And I'm not sure they'll be the same level next season, but I think they'll be top 4.
Yeah.
Does the Champions League not distract them a bit, though?
Yeah, that's big.
I mean, they didn't have that.
Because are they going to win the Champions League next year? No.
Yeah, but everyone will be in it, other than Chelsea. But the contenders will all be in competitions. Like Liverpool won't actually. No,
we're in the Europa League, thanks.
Exactly, which is worse.
I can't wait for the away days in Lithuania.
You go, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to go, mate. That's where the train track is. That Lithuania one.
Like, that tweet is just scheduled for the second a big side ever misses out on the Champions League. Get the flipping train video out. They'll be playing here next season.
Darwin Núñez is on his 8th hat trick of the game as the train crosses the track.
Ollie's going to have a lovely bit of time off during the week. These days.
Enjoy your FA Cup runs and that's it.
I'm actually looking forward to it in a weird way, to be honest. Just
sure you are, mate.
That's
what I said. Oh, we can finally win the Europa League. No, get me back in the Champions League immediately.
No, to be fair, there's nothing like Champions League nights. There's actually nothing like it.
When they go your way.
When they go your way, yeah, that's very true.
How was Stamford Bridge last game of the season?
Oh, atmosphere was rocking at the away end. Bloody hell, Newcastle fans are getting mental.
Even Claire Holding scored.
It wasn't too bad, to be fair. It wasn't too bad. I mean, we should have won, but again, the story of Chelsea seasons, you can't hit a barn door. So, fair play, Newcastle.
What more goals than Haaland?
Wow, I'll take that. Chelsea scored more goals than Haaland. What an achievement.
Possibly by 1.
It's close. It was close. But yeah, got to see Frank Lampard clap the fans, and then Mason Mount as well. So,
where did Chelsea need to strengthen then? I mean, apart from like the whole team, but
I think
where mainly?
I think they'll be alright. You know,
it's the spine. I think we need. We obviously need a centre forward. We need a holding midfielder because Enzo is doing way too much work, and Kante is unreliable at the minute. And
do you need a new formation?
Possibly.
I know and change it up, but I think there's players there. I don't think it's that. I don't think that. I think Chelsea, like right now, before the transfer window, like I feel pretty confident that they'll be back in and around it next season. Like they won't have Champions League to worry about as much as you want to be worrying about it. When you don't have it, you can do good things, and they're players that Poch. It feels like they're Poch players. Like he can get stuff out of them. And like you say, it's a spine. Probably need a keeper, a centre back, a centre mid, and a striker at the very decent levels of all of those.
I mean,
I think Lukaku.
Well, he'll be back, so maybe that maybe Poch can do it.
You just
Is he
don't
going to
fit.
stick around though,
Don't
or
fit.
is he?
I think he's done.
I
He's absolutely done.
I think at this point you sell Lukaku and then use that money because
Yeah.
Lukaku's a good season at Inter.
Yeah, I think Inter are just like I don't think they have the funds that Chelsea want to sell him for,
Yeah,
so
that's
they
the
just
problem.
try and do these loan
But
deals.
you've got that chap coming from Germany as well, Nkunku.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
be fair, I forgot about him.
Yeah, so
I think to be fair, I think the biggest thing at Chelsea is just getting the excess of Deadwood just
Yeah.
out. Like, we've got the squad is so bloated, it's absolutely unreal. Like Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic, the list can go on and on and on about how many players just need to leave.
Well, even your better players are rubbish. Like Kai Havertz is pants.
well,
I
he's
still
never
think there's a
played
player
where
in
he
there.
should be playing.
You
They've
what?
used their
Sorry.
habits so poorly.
Yeah, but his time's up. He's got to go.
Yeah,
There's a player in there for Havertz, and I just don't know. I just don't think he's.
I
that's why
think
Super,
Bob
that's
was
the
looking right
problem,
in
though.
Ballon d'Or for Real Madrid next year.
yeah,
There's
probably.
been a player in there for the last however long he's been, last 3 or 4 seasons, and he's not turned up.
He's going to be the new Ronaldo for Real Madrid.
You can't say he's not turned up. He's turned up, but just he's not been
Yeah,
as
he's entered
consistent.
the training ground. Uh,
He turned up in one game and he won a Champions League final, and that is all
No,
I can say.
and that was a very boring game.
Yeah,
no. That I mean, even at that, the ball made that goal, really, didn't it? That through ball from Mason Mount made that. So
yeah.
I do think Havertz is a big player, but he just hasn't shown it on a consistent basis, and probably just the way Chelsea have played over the past couple of years just hasn't suited him either. So
No. I think having Frank Lampard as the manager has not helped your case, any of the players' cases, because he's not rotated when he should have done. Like, there's no harm in changing that entire. You're the caretaker manager of a team who should be in the top four, who are in 12th. Like, you should be rotating that, and he just didn't.
He let himself down a bit, didn't he?
Baffling, and him saying like, "I have to look out for my job." It's like your job is literally caretaker manager. You know you're not going to be here. Like that's not looking out for your job. You're literally making it worse. You're not going to be hired by anyone else.
No.
Nobody's going to start. Nobody's going to hire Frank Lampard.
I literally don't know where he goes. He has to take a break. Like, has to take a break and then come back and say, like, oh, I've like Eddie Howe did, kind of, but like at an even lower level. Like, Howe took quite a while out, went and learned his trade again. But
Or go and be like
got to go and
an
start
assistant manager somewhere.
Yeah, could be assistant manager for Pep.
But he's
Or
got
Leicester
too
or
big an
something.
ego, I think, now.
He's just a moron.
Like his ego's been worn down slowly.
Yeah, maybe.
He's just a moron.
I think it's baffling how like much of a genius of a player he was, but as a manager, he just I don't know what it is. He just doesn't. It's not. He just doesn't make the changes.
To be fair, his stints at Chelsea have been in Chelsea teams that needed rebuilding.
Yeah.
And he has not been able to do that. Like, it's not all his fault, but he has not helped the situation at all.
Yeah, the Chelsea situation, it was a bit of a stupid job to take because, I mean, I guess he saw it as I can turn it around, but realistically, had like not many games with a team that's confidence was on the floor, and you're not going to be there next season, and then none of your
and
players.
a woeful start to the season himself.
So I just think, if he wanted another job out of that, it's gone horribly wrong. But now he just needs to take a couple of years out and figure out how to be an actual good manager. But
I feel like, especially in his head, he must know that obviously he was sacked beginning of the season. He gets a caretaker job, does worse in that job than he did at Everton. And would he, if he was a full-time manager, would be sacked again? He is probably the first manager to be probably sacked twice in one season, to have two sackable seasons at two different clubs in the same season.
Yeah, shocking.
That's
I mean,
going.
It can only go up from here, hopefully.
I mean, 3 draws in a row would be going up from here.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh,
Just get Poch in now. Get working
one
with
draw
his
would be
squad.
good enough, to be fair. To be fair, he got that against Newcastle.
Let's move to Man United. Let's assess their season. FA Cup final. Did any of you boys watch it? I actually didn't watch it. I got home answer.
I watched it.
I got
United were out of it for hours.
I watched the last 25 minutes. I mean, City always looked like they were going to win that, I think. I think obviously there's dubious talk about the penalty. I think with the rule change in the last few seasons of a handball in the box is a penalty, I feel like it's fine to give it.
Yeah.
Any problems?
I think that just highlights how well the rule book needs to be changed and looked at by people who actually watch football.
The thing is,
Yeah,
though,
Probably.
we say that every season.
The old rule was like has to be in the silhouette, and that's so like subjective. I think this rule with any handball is like it takes that bias out of it,
I agree.
and I think it makes it better. Obviously, stuff like that are the most kind of loosely. And it was a loose handball because he obviously wasn't staring at it, but it did hit his hand.
But it's
So
still not perfect though, that whole thing.
no, it's never
Because
going to be.
Thiago did it a few weeks ago against West Ham, where the ball was kicked at his arm, and it stopped it, and there was nothing given. So it's still not that objective. It's still very subjective. So I just think the referee needs to have that say of is it a penalty or not? Because I like VAR, but I don't think it's been used in the way it should be. It's now, oh, we'll play another minute. Oh wait, no, the ref's been told now he's going to go have another look at it. And at this point, he's been told, oh, you made the wrong decision. Go and have another look and change your decision.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that VAR has been awful this season, and the refereeing decisions have been awful. I think, and bafflingly, why? I mean, even the last couple of seasons when it first came in, it was all right. There were some difficulties and some things that weren't quite right. But this season, everything seems to have gone wrong.
Yeah.
So I think there does need to be a big look into it. I don't think it starts with a handball rule. I think they made that change for the better. In terms of nobody can really argue with it. You can't fully argue with it because it should be a penalty every time. It should be. The only way you can argue with it is if it happens and it's not called. But in terms of that game, like that's the only way United were going to score. Obviously, Gundogan scoring in the first 12 seconds was ridiculous.
That was mad. What a volley!
And insane volley. I mean, his second goal was pretty good. I think De Gea probably obviously should have done better.
Yeah.
As he always does. I think sees it late, but still he gets a finger to it.
Does that say to you need a new keeper?
There's
such a divide on De Gea, it baffles me.
I know. I think it's because he does perform and he has performed more this season than he hasn't like last season. He's done better and he's been a bit more like his usual self. But again, I think goalkeeper is the hardest position in terms of judging it. He hasn't played well this year. He's conceded some awful goals. And he just seems to be going through a bad stint. I think we need a better
He's got Golden Glove.
I know, but
how?
How does he manage that?
I don't know. I think, to be fair, we've shored up our defence pretty well. Having Lindelof had a blinder of a season. I think playing him next to Varane has really kind of helped him.
Martinez as well.
Martinez has been great. Luke Shaw has had a season of his life, and Wan-Bissaka has not had to put a cross in for weeks, so he's done all that he's needed to do. So I think United Ten Hag's got them playing the way up to everyone's strengths. Not Martial's, but or Sancho's, but he's getting there.
I think he still needs to put.
We need a better second choice keeper. I think.
I think just go and get Raya. Just like because I mean it depends on what Ten Hag wants to do. Like if he doesn't want to play out the back, like the head, like he's got Golden Glove because in games where he's good, he's unreal.
Yeah.
But the problem is when he concedes, it's generally because he's chucked him in.
Yeah.
But he also can't pass for his life. So if Ten Hag wants to do that in the future, there's no like De Gea's got a couple of seasons left in him, and I feel like it's a waste. Just go like if Man United are doing this like rebuild under Ten Hag, get that done, get the Raya in early because that's your keeper set for like 7-8 years.
Especially now that Lloris is off, Tottenham will be looking for a new number one. Just beat them to it because they'll go for him.
And Chelsea could be as well. Like there's literally everyone.
I think it's we need to. I think we dealt with the Dean Henderson stuff poorly because I think he would have been class to keep. And then, like I said, we need to get in quickly with somebody who's willing to come. I think there's not that many top class goalkeepers who are up for sale really at the moment. Like Ryan has had a great season, And Lloris, again, Lloris, I don't think has had a great season.
No,
He's been
shocking.
pretty poor. He's been pretty poor at Spurs.
Lloris has been poor since he won the World Cup.
Yeah.
And that was 4 years ago.
So I
5
think
years ago, actually. Like,
we need a better keeper for long term. Whether we get a keeper and loan them out for a little bit, or not even that, just have a second choice keeper and play some games. Which is, I think, when we had Sergio Romero as our number 2 keeper, that was some of De Gea's best years.
Competition, right?
Because he had Romero, who was an international. He was almost a World Cup winning goalkeeper as your number 2. That's ridiculous. And every game he played in the cups, he was just.
And now you just sign random Premier League has-been goalkeepers like
the
Jack Butler.
and
Yeah.
Butler.
There's 3.
The other week, the other season, and it's just like, what's the point?
Who's next? Ben Foster.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Starting GK.
Luke's mate.
Sticks.
Eric Ten Hag, what a guy! A legend.
Yeah, I think United. I think overall the season has been a success. Obviously, winning the League Cup helped.
Take it.
I think that was our best kind of portion of the season. We won quite a few games then. Went a bit downhill again, but finished off relatively strongly. So I'm excited for next season. And apparently, United, the board, are quite willing to spend big this summer.
What do you need? You need a striker, yeah?
Yeah, so to be fair, they were like one to put in the chat. They want to know whether they can get Kane, Rice,
Mount.
Yeah.
What about Osimhen? There's a lot of talk about him.
Yeah, I think they're saying.
Who would you rather have, Kane or Osimhen?
I'd rather have Kane, but I think Osimhen is a perfect replacement. If we couldn't get him, he's probably cheaper. And Napoli are in a shambles with sacking their manager, so like they've just.
But they sacked him.
Or he left a mutual confidence in him, but I'm pretty sure he didn't want to leave. He just got a tattoo of them.
Yeah.
Like he's just won the league for the first time in 30 odd years.
He had a poor end to the season, didn't he? And they were just there like, right, thanks for everything, but get out.
It's ridiculous. So I think
I feel like either of those two would be good. Like definitely an upgrade on Wout Weghorst and Martial.
Yeah.
Well, it's not saying much.
Weghorst is back at Burnley. He's already back, so he's gone.
He was not happy about that, was he?
No, he has one day off and he's back in Burnley. I mean, he's won a trophy, so that's fine. But overall, United had a season that's very respectable, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how we ranked the squad at the start of the season, they've done more than we expected them to.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. They've excelled in every position, according to our predictions. Maybe not my predictions, but your guys' predictions, definitely.
Going over to the blue side of Manchester, do you think they can do the treble? Obviously, you've got your Champions League final coming up very soon. It's Inter Milan. What are your boys' thoughts on that? Like, can they do it? Are going to do it comfortably? And how big?
There's two ways that it goes: Inter win 1-0 or City win 6-0.
Yeah,
pretty much is my opinion.
You just can't see City losing that game.
Nah, you can't. I really don't see it.
This end of the season for them. I mean, yeah, they lost to Brentford last game of the season. Who cares? I don't think they cared. No. Beat Man United comfortably, really. I think Man United are probably on par with Inter at the moment.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, I see City kind of dominating. And like they've got too many players. I mean, Gundogan, he's at the end of his contract. They wanted to sell him, and he comes out and is captain for arguably one of their best seasons ever.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So yeah, I don't see City not winning that.
I think as well, like there's the mind thing, but it's not like, I mean, Inter, if it was like in Milan, you'd say maybe they had it, like the mind, like they're psychologically, like Inter could do something there, but I just don't see the way. If they score early and first, or just like if they can just hold on,
but if they score first,
then but I still just see I guess Inter will have to be like 0-0 until like 70 odd minutes, like the Liverpool final basically for Real Madrid, and just hold on because if they score early, I still think City will have too much for them, and then and if they and then well, obviously if City score first, the game's over. I think it could be horrific, but I can't see it. But it is, it's a one-off, so you never know.
It's one of those that Pep sometimes has a tendency, obviously, to overanalyze the game, like he did against Chelsea. If he does that, I can see Inter scoring a few, to be honest, because they do have the firepower and they can score quite freely. They again also had a bit of an awful end of the season in Spain, in Italy, sorry. But
they just got lucky though with that other side of the Champions League, because we were like 3 months ago now. We knew that it was either going to be Milan, well, one of the Milan teams, Napoli, or Benfica in the final.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, oh well, whoever finishes on the other side of Madrid, Chelsea, City, and Bayern, I think it was, they're going to win a Champions League.
Yeah.
But I just think, like you say, City I just can't see them losing it, to be honest.
I think if
they can score goals from too many places, like Gundogan scored a brace in a FA Cup final, like that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think if Inter sit back, we've seen it so many times with teams that play against City. I think if they sit back and try and counter and absorb the pressure, they're not good enough. Eventually they'll get picked open. But like, having said that, how else do you play against City? If you go toe to toe, you're going to get beat that way as well. So it's a tough one. Or
City will just change what they're doing. They can swap the wingers from the likes of Mahrez to a Jack Grealish, who's a bit less or a bit more direct or whatever.
I also
they can do whatever they want.
I ripped into Jack Grealish, obviously when he was signed for 100 mil. This season he's been unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's been good.
And I think
needed time to adapt, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. And I think he's been a very good impact player for them. Which is annoying, but I suppose it happens. And now that team just works perfectly in every single way. Like John Stones, unbelievable season. Edison, they can all pass from anywhere.
Rodri's just getting better as well.
Yeah.
There's literally I don't know who they buy during this summer. Like, obviously, if Gundogan goes, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think I saw today that he's signing on.
Staying, is he?
Yeah.
Has it been Here We Go?
It was a Fabrizio. It wasn't a Here We Go, but it was right.
They offered him a contract 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think he's making a decision after his Champions League final. But I think Gundogan's like one of the most underrated signings they have.
Yeah, he's underrated.
I don't know. I just wanted to say on the other side, like, this is just my Liverpool side coming through, but Gundogan was good for the last 2 months of the season. Like, he's been excellent for the last 2 months of the season. The rest he was average. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he was average. He was a big part of a team. Like, he generally, in terms of goal scoring, is like when he pops up in the crucial games. But that's not like his job. Is not like generally to be the goal scorer. But when he has to be that, he's always there.
Yeah.
But I think if City want to I guess City need the next wave. So even if Gundogan stays, they maybe need to kind of get those players that will eventually replace the De Bruynes and the Gundogans, like, because their squad is aging a little bit in that midfield.
Yeah.
They kind of need the next wave of players to kind of develop. So when they do leave, they've got them in. Although, to be honest, what they'll probably do is just wait until they leave and then just buy whoever's the best. And just
is
do it
Phil
that way
Foden
instead.
not all right? Is Alvarez not all right? Is Haaland? I'm older than Haaland.
Yeah,
like,
no,
man.
But Kevin and Gundogan, it's like two big players for them. So in that midfield, it's quite hard to replace.
It happened last season with like Bernardo Silva. He was meant to leave.
Yeah.
Then stayed and was insane for them. Was one of their best players that season.
Do you think they finally signed some fullbacks now?
Don't think they need them.
Yeah, but do you not think he'd rather go back to having his fullbacks than playing some 3-2-4-1 nonsense?
Zinchenko might want to come back.
Yeah. It's Jesus getting there as well.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of pundits and stuff on Sky Sports and that trying to compare the two sides' potential treble winning side for Man City to United's one. Do you think there's any comparison at all? Or do you think it's like you think there's a team that's particular better than
I
the
think at the
other?
end of the day, City have dominated probably a bit more than United. I think United had a harder cup run in the Champions League, like by like a smidge, because like playing Real Madrid isn't easy at all. But I think with the time period it was and how spending was, I think United did maybe ever so slightly better. But I suppose in today's world, I think City have a better treble in that sense.
Yeah, I think if City play United, I think City win. But
Yeah.
United did it first,
Yeah.
and I mean, United always, for the majority, like recent history, have the best players. So it's not like obviously the finances were different back then, and a lot of them were homegrown to be fair. But Man United always like the best teams always win. Right? So it was like on that, like it wasn't like quite shocking, but I think. Yeah, the first one's always the best one, isn't it? So,
yeah, it's true. I'll take that. But I think if City win the treble, it would be probably soul destroying for most people.
Yeah. I think if they don't win it this season, they'll win it next season. If they don't win it next season, they'll win it the season after. I mean, all of us probably, apart from Luke, they're like, oh, come on, Inter, don't give City don't give them their trophy. This is the one they need now. And it's probably the funniest part. Like the only thing you can say to a City fan is you've not won the Champions League.
Yeah, they've won every single other thing.
Yeah, but in all fairness, as a Liverpool fan, if United are the only team to ever win a treble and that goes, it's a win-win.
Yeah, true.
I'll take what I can get.
Fairs.
But City deserve it, really.
Yeah,
because they have been by far the best team over the last 5 years. Like 4 out of 5 of the last seasons they've won the trophy, the Premier League, which is mental.
And they've been at least in like the semis or final of the Champions League.
Yeah,
like they're consistently there.
And if you look at all the other top 6, sorry Sam, like Liverpool have dropped off at least once. Arsenal have only just started, like in the last 5 seasons, obviously Arsenal have only just started challenging for Premier League. Tottenham have never come close to it. United have been in and around it, but challenged not as much, you know. Like they've just been solid for the last 5 years.
They've just dominated.
Yeah.
Absolute domination. So yeah, if anyone's going to win it, it's going to be them.
What have they done now? 3 in a row, right? Premier League wise.
Yeah.
Has it Man United done 4 once? Or has it never been done?
They've done it twice. They've won 3 in a row twice.
What about 4?
Never won 4.
Okay, so next year they could be the first team to win 4 in a row.
They won't. Liverpool going to win it next season.
Jesus Christ.
We've got here we go, McAllister.
McAllister is overrated. So
no, he's not. Behave. You're just cross because you didn't get it.
No, I'm not cross because I think that Brighton team they've got better players than McAllister in that Brighton team.
I just think for the Liverpool system, he'll work quite nicely.
Probably, yeah. He'll be their new.
We're gonna get a couple more centre mids. Yeah. Hopefully, another centre back. Then we'll be all right. And if there's enough money for Mane back, do it.
Honestly, the fact that Mane is having a shit time, fine.
I told him not to go. I DM'd him.
You sent him a letter.
I bet you did.
And he ignored my message. But he didn't even look at it. Cheek.
He's left you on red.
Amount of love I gave him. To be fair, when I DM'd him, I think I was quite drunk. I think it just went, don't go.
Always happens. To be fair, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund also bottled their league.
What a shambles, man. You don't deserve to win the league if you're doing that on the last day.
Did you miss a penalty? Oh, ridiculous. Don't deserve it.
Yeah, shocking.
I know it's Haller as well.
Yeah.
The entire football community is shaking their head like, oh, no, not him.
To be him, didn't it?
Yeah. Right, lads. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
I feel like we didn't talk about QPR being rubbish.
Not really. There'll be plenty of time for that next season, to be honest. So there's no real need to do that now.
There's a new big love for Luton being in the Premier League, though.
Yeah, shout out.
I really hope they get battered every week.
I can't wait to see the referee have to run into someone's house to check the VAR.
Just sad. Isn't it?
Can you rewind Sky, please? I need that. To be fair, it'll probably be better than Edgeley Park or whatever they're doing, like 6 miles away.
Yeah.
Where do Luton finish? Early predictions.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom. Oh,
13th.
13.
No way.
I'm gonna go
Just above
90.
Chelsea.
I think they're going to just survive 17th. Just
No way.
stay.
I'm going 90. They're the only team that I couldn't name you a player from.
I mean, this could quite easily be a bold prediction of lowest points total.
Yeah, it's too easy though, isn't it? It feels like everyone feels like you want to put them last because you're like, there's no chance, but you don't. But then we've had it too many times where the first season, because it's a weird place to go, they kind of get a decent amount of points on the board at home.
They'll win the first 10 in a row, and then that'll be enough for them. That'll be their 30 points.
Yeah. If you listen to our podcast, thank you very much for listening. Check out B2B Sports. They are superb, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.
Yeah,
in a bit.
See ya.